The studio buzzed with anticipation as the cameras rolled on the set of The View, a daytime talk show known for its lively debates and unfiltered conversations. Jennifer Lopez, the global superstar, was the guest of the day, there to promote her latest project, a high-energy romantic comedy that had already generated Oscar buzz. The audience clapped enthusiastically as she walked out, her signature radiance lighting up the room. Dressed in a sleek, tailored outfit that screamed Hollywood glamour, she waved and flashed her megawatt smile, settling into the guest chair with poise. The hosts Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Sarah Haynes greeted her warmly, each eager to dive into the interview. The conversation started smoothly, with Whoopi asking about the challenges of balancing J.Lo's multifaceted career as a singer, actress, and entrepreneur. Jennifer spoke passionately about her work ethic, sharing anecdotes about late-night rehearsals and her commitment to authenticity in her performances. The audience hung on her every word, captivated by her charisma. But as the segment progressed, a subtle shift in tone began to emerge. Joy Behar, known for her sharp wit and no-holds-barred questioning style, steered the conversation toward more personal territory. She brought up Jennifer's highly publicized love life, referencing her recent reunion with Ben Affleck and their whirlwind romance. The crowd murmured, sensing the topic was a delicate one. Jennifer, ever the professional, answered diplomatically, emphasizing her happiness and desire to keep some aspects of her life private. Yet, Joy pressed further, her questions growing more pointed, probing into past relationships and the media frenzy surrounding them. The tension in the studio was palpable, as Jennifer's smile tightened, her responses becoming shorter. The other hosts exchanged glances, aware that Joy was treading on thin ice. The audience, too, seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see how far this would go. Would Jennifer maintain her composure, or would Joy's relentless questioning push her to the edge? The stage was set for a moment that would soon dominate headlines. As the interview continued, Joy Behar's line of questioning grew bolder, veering into territory that felt uncomfortably personal. She referenced tabloid rumors about Jennifer's relationships, asking pointed questions about her exes and the challenges of dating in the public eye. The audience shifted in their seats, some whispering to each other, sensing the growing unease. Jennifer, a seasoned media veteran, tried to steer the conversation back to her work, mentioning her upcoming music projects and her advocacy for women's empowerment. But Joy seemed determined to keep the focus on gossip, tossing out a question about whether Jennifer felt pressure to maintain her youthful image amid constant scrutiny. The comment landed awkwardly, and Jennifer's expression flickered with a hint of frustration. She responded with grace, acknowledging the challenges of fame but emphasizing her focus on self-love and growth. The other hosts attempted to lighten the mood as Sunny jumped in with a question about Jennifer's fitness routine, hoping to shift gears, while Sarah complimented her latest film. Yet, Joy doubled down, making a quip about Jennifer's multiple engagements that drew a few gasps from the audience. The remark was meant to be humorous, but it landed like a lead balloon. Jennifer's posture stiffened, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. The studio lights seemed to burn hotter, amplifying the tension. Whoopi, sensing the need to intervene, tried to redirect by asking about Jennifer's charity work, but Joy interjected again, this time questioning Jennifer's decision to return to music after focusing on acting. The audience could see Jennifer's patience wearing thin, her responses now clipped and measured. The dynamic was shifting dangerously, and the room felt charged with anticipation. Would Joy back off, or was this interview about to take a dramatic turn? The atmosphere in the studio grew increasingly strained as Joy Behar continued her relentless probing. She leaned forward, her tone playful but cutting, asking Jennifer about the toll her high-profile relationships had taken on her mental health. The question was framed as concern but carried an edge that felt invasive. Jennifer paused, her eyes narrowing slightly as she processed the question. For a moment, it seemed she might brush it off with her usual charm, but the cumulative weight of Joy's questions was clearly taking its toll. She responded with a measured tone, saying she preferred to focus on the present rather than dwell on past challenges. The audience applauded her restraint, but Joy wasn't done. She pivoted to a question about Jennifer's business ventures, implying that her brand was more about image than substance. The comment was a step too far, and the crowd's murmurs grew louder. Jennifer's face tightened, her smile now completely gone. She leaned forward, her voice steady but firm, and said, "I think we're getting a little off track here. I'm here to talk about my work, not to dissect my personal life or my choices." The audience erupted in supportive applause, but Joy, undeterred, tried to laugh it off, making another quip about the pressures of being Jade.Lo. The other hosts looked visibly uncomfortable, with Whoopi shooting Joy a pointed glance. Jennifer's composure was admirable, but the tension was undeniable. She shifted in her seat, her body language signaling she was ready to move in or perhaps walk off. The producers in the control room exchanged nervous looks, aware that the interview was teetering on the edge of disaster. The question on everyone's mind was whether Jennifer would continue to tolerate Joy's provocations or take a stand in a way that would make headlines. The tipping point came swiftly and decisively. Joy Behar, perhaps sensing she had the upper hand, pressed even further, asking Jennifer about a decades-old rumor involving a high-profile feud with another celebrity. The question was framed as a light-hearted throwback, but it was clear to everyone in the room that it was meant to provoke. The audience gasped, and the other hosts froze, realizing Joy had crossed a line. Jennifer's eyes flashed with a mix of disbelief and indignation. She sat back in her chair, her arms crossed, and let out a small, incredulous laugh. "You know, Joy," she began, her voice calm but laced with steel, "I came here to talk about my work, my art, and the things that matter to me. But it seems like you are more interested in digging up old gossip than having a real conversation." The audience erupted in cheers, some standing to applaud her. Joy tried to interject, her face flushing as she attempted to backpedal, but Jennifer wasn't having it. "I respect this show, and I respect all of you," she continued, addressing the other hosts, "but I don't have to sit here and be disrespected." With that, she stood up, removed her microphone, and walked off the set, her heels clicking against the stage floor. The audience was stunned into silence for a moment before bursting into a mix of cheers and gasps. Whoopi called for a commercial break, while Sunny and Sarah tried to smooth things over with awkward laughter. Backstage, producers scrambled to manage the fallout, knowing this moment would dominate social media and news outlets within minutes. Jennifer's exit was a powerful statement, one that underscored her strength and refusal to be reduced to tabloid fodder. The aftermath of Jennifer Lopez's walk-off was electric, both in the studio and across the digital landscape. As the show cut to commercial, the audience buzzed with excitement, some praising Jennifer's bold move while others debated whether Joy had gone too far. Backstage, Jennifer was met by her team, who ushered her to a private area to regroup. She remained composed but firm, reportedly telling her manager she had no regrets about standing up for herself. Meanwhile, the hosts reconvened on set, with Whoopi addressing the audience directly, acknowledging the heated moment and promising a more respectful conversation moving forward. Joy, visibly shaken, attempted to defend her questions as just part of the job, but her tone lacked its usual confidence. Social media exploded with reactions, as clips of the exchange went viral on platforms like X. Fans hailed Jennifer as a queen for refusing to tolerate disrespect, with hashtags like #JLoWalksOff and #RespectJlo trending worldwide. Critics of Joy Behar called for an apology, while others argued she was simply doing her job as a provocative interviewer. Pundits weighed in, with some praising Jennifer's professionalism and others questioning whether her exit was an overreaction. The incident sparked broader discussions about the line between journalism and sensationalism, particularly when it comes to women in the spotlight. The views ratings soared as the controversy drew in viewers, but the show's producers faced pressure to address the fallout. Would Joy issue a public apology, or would the show double down on its unfiltered approach? In the days that followed, the incident became a cultural touchstone, sparking debates about media ethics, celebrity boundaries, and the treatment of women in entertainment. Jennifer Lopez addressed the moment in a carefully worded statement on her social media, emphasizing her commitment to authenticity and respect. "I've always believed in lifting others up, not tearing them down," she wrote, earning praise for her grace under pressure. Fans flooded her posts with support, sharing stories of times they, too, had to set boundaries in the face of disrespect. The View issued an official statement, with producers acknowledging the incident and promising to review their interview protocols. Joy Behar, under intense scrutiny, posted a brief apology on X, saying she may have crossed a line but stopping short of fully retracting her questions. The apology did little to quell the backlash, as many felt it lacked sincerity. Meanwhile, Jennifer's walk-off became a rallying cry for those advocating for better treatment of celebrities, particularly women of color, in media spaces. Talk shows and news outlets dissected the moment, with some hosts admitting they'd think twice before pushing the guests too far. The incident also boosted Jennifer's public image, reinforcing her as a powerful figure who commands respect. Her latest projects saw a surge in interest, as fans rallied to support her. The View, meanwhile, faced a delicate balancing act, maintaining its reputation for candid conversations while avoiding future controversies. The moment was a reminder that even in the fast-paced world of daytime TV, boundaries matter, and no one, not even a global superstar like Jennifer Lopez, is obligated to tolerate disrespect.